Hi, and welcome to Missouri Outdoors. I'm Kip Woods. Here's what's coming your way on today's show.
Tag along with a crew as they take inventory along the Missouri River. What they're tracking may surprise you. Join the adventure and excitement as these youth take to the woods during deer season. See how the challenges they overcome go far beyond the hunt itself. Enjoy a tour of some of the most scenic and interesting places in the Show Me State. And in our cooking segment, Martha Daniels serves up a venison version of a Philly steak sandwich.
It's all coming up shortly. But first, Ralph Duran joins us for a Call of the Wild.
Missouri is home to several different owl species, but our largest resident owl is the great horned owl. He sounds like this. Because of his call, the great horned owl is also known as the hoot owl, which makes sense. In medieval Europe, they thought if an owl screamed during a baby's birth, it meant the baby was a witch. But I think he's just talking, saying, who are you? Who?
It's late October, and two flat-bottomed boats are nearing the end of a long journey. Hundreds of miles, 754 miles, on the Missouri River. Sioux City, Iowa, to north of St. Louis at the confluence of the Mississippi and Missouri rivers. The people aboard are doing something no one's done before. Making a map of the trash on the Missouri River. Big trash, little trash, all the trash.
The Mega Scout is an effort by Missouri River Relief to map trash on the lower Missouri River.
A complete map of trash on the Missouri River for the beginning of the 21st century. There are two reasons for the project. First, to help organize new cleanups along the river. And second, to see where the trash comes from and where it goes.
Each time we pass a mile marker, we rate that past mile, 1 to 5 for how much trash we see.
Each mile of the river is recorded.
It's like a bucket.
With a description, location, and pictures of the trash the volunteers find.
All right, does anybody want to get out here? As you move up the scale, it's bigger stuff. Refrigerators, it starts to become a 3. If it's a dump site, it might be a 4 or a 5.
Volunteers with the Missouri River Relief Organization have been cleaning up the river since 2000. In the past year, they have expanded their efforts from Missouri to Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa.
Yeah, but there's so much stuff coming in, it's just hard to keep up.
After several years of cleanups, the volunteers of River Relief wanted to do something bigger. The idea of the Mega Scout was born.
But Tim has done these maps, and they've got the mile markers, and then they've got numbers.
You know, the cleanup work is kind of frantic in a good way. High energy, gotta get it done, pick it up. Tons of garbage in one day. And this was very laid back, thoughtful. Let's take a really close look. Let's write down what we see. Let's build this cool database. Let's try to understand the work we have to do in the future.
Charlotte Overby is the summer expedition's official videographer-photographer. She documents the crew working the long trip downriver. The scenery, the small towns, local people, and television crews.
You know, we managed to get on TV, I think, 6 times along the journey. It is just an oddball enough thing to be doing that people are interested. They want to know. They want to talk to people who are willing to be out there all those weeks.
The long journey down the Missouri began in July 2006. Whether it's 94 degrees and sunny or 45 degrees and cloudy, the process stays the same. Methodical marking of the trash and the river.
If I could have an office on the sandbar, that's where I'd want it. Being able to sit and work under a sunset or under stars is amazing.
Each night, Daniel Belshie organizes the data and pictures of the day.
once we design the map, you'll be able to go in and click on anything in the map, and it'll bring up a photo of what it is, so we'll have an idea of like how to drag it out.
Your average river relief volunteer, actually there's nothing average about them. You know, people on this crew are taking vacation time from their jobs to come and sit in a pile of garbage and talk about it and try to figure out what to do about it. I think that says a lot. So I just think it's neat that they're taking time out of their lives, you know, to try to think about the big picture and what we can do for the river.
In the years since the Missouri River floods of '93 and '95, more people and agencies are looking closely at the river.
Well, I think it's another example of people starting to look at this river in an entirely different light. Probably up till the early 90s, before the great flood of 1993, the river was fairly ignored. And now people are starting to see what sort of a resource it can be, both for fish and for wildlife, as well as for recreational interest. So the river relief people have put together this wonderful project to clean up the river, but also to bring people down to the river, which I think is very valuable because it's really introducing people to this resource that's in their backyard.
River Relief is getting to do this project in a way that no government agency or government employees would ever get to do it. And that is being out on the river, living in the sand, you know, making your coffee over the fire in the morning, you know, staying up late to watch the stars, and then during the day, being serious and methodical and collecting some real data.
The heat, the cold, the bugs, the sand, take its toll. It's tiring work. The beds sometimes leave a lot to be desired, but the good far outweighs the bad.
It's a lot of fun. It's hard to explain unless you've been out on the river. It's just such a beautiful and kind of powerful, calming thing.
The information collected is already being used to organize cleanups along the river. In time, the volunteers of River Relief hope the colors and numbers of the map will fade away. No longer an accurate description of the Missouri River, but a pleasant memory of a long, slow trip down the river. A map of how far the river has come.
A lot goes into making a hunt successful, and most of it happens before you take to the field, like making sure your rifle is properly sighted in. It's not hard to do if you follow a few simple steps. First, and this is the first step when you do anything with a firearm, make sure it's unloaded. Make sure your scope is properly mounted and the mounting screws are tight. Remove the bolt and sight through the barrel to make sure you're lined up with the sight-in target placed at 25 yards. Or, using a sighting tool, bore sight your rifle to make sure your first shot is on the paper. To do this, place a sighting tool with an arbor inside the bore of your muzzle and line up the crosshairs of the scope with the crosshairs inside the sighting tool. Be sure you're wearing eye and ear protection. Now that your shot is on the paper, it's time to try several different types of ammunition or loads to see which works best out of your particular rifle. After deciding on a load, fire 3 shots at a paper target to get a good idea where the bullet is impacting. This is called a group. Then make adjustments to your scope until your bullet impacts the target where you want it to. Now, if I go hunting and don't get anything, I can't blame it on my rifle. If you'd like more information, just write to us. We'll have the address for you at the end of the show.
The front of the canoe is the part of the canoe that's got the seat further back. So, any questions before we go out? The handle, the shaft. Everybody come on over here. Okay, bud. All ready. Good to go.
Hold that.
A very special event is taking place near Clinton in west central Missouri. It's a program that's been held since 2001. The Family Outdoor Skills Camp for deaf and hard of hearing children may be the only camp of its kind. The project is coordinated by the Missouri Department of Conservation and Missouri School for the Deaf. Young people with hearing disabilities and their families come here to learn outdoor skills and enjoy Missouri's outdoors together. Since many of these children attend the Missouri School for the Deaf, which is a residential school, this event provides time with parents, grandparents, even brothers and sisters that they miss by living at school and away from their families. The inspiration for the camp came from St. Clair Conservation Agent Dennis Garrison.
I have to work with deaf people in the field, checking permits and enforcing our regulations. The Missouri School for the Deaf has a lot of good programs, but it's at the schools. And a lot of these kids don't get to interact a lot with their families, and especially in an outdoor setting, learning outdoor skills. H. Rowe Bartle Scout Reservation is a perfect place for the families to get together.
This is not just a program for the kids, this is a program for the parents and guardians of these children as well. The parents don't know how to do a lot of this stuff, so we're teaching everybody. A lot of the kids are somewhat tentative at first, and we run them through some basic water safety. We teach them various strokes so that they can maneuver their canoes. Go ahead and bring them on in. And they're the folks that in the future are going to make sure that the resources are protected, taken care of. And it gives me an opportunity to work with my brother, Sergeant Dennis Hutton from the Water Patrol. Are they going to be on time?
This is the third year I've been down here, and have just really enjoyed it. And you get to see a lot of kids who don't usually get an opportunity to come outside and be around the water. They're new to it, they're learning, and they just really have a good time. And that's the fun part, is just watching them have fun.
Means it's the kind of rocks landed on the limestone.
Most of the time, the other camps, the other activities that you do, you're always making adjustments, you're making compromises. It's different here.
Where the rock kind of folds in and out, just like a curtain on a window at home.
We all get to participate in the activities with other families. They all have deaf kids. They're all going through the same things. We all get to enjoy it together. And it's a diversified group.
There you go. Stand up on your right foot. Push up with your right by your left knee. You ready to come down? Grab onto the rope with both hands. Good job. It's important that our young people get out and experience the outdoors. Not a lot of our students get the opportunity to go out and hunt, fish, or learn archery. And this gives them an opportunity with their parents that they may not otherwise have.
You're almost there. Touch the top. All right, hey, that's it.
It gives her a chance to be with her friends and to go somewhere where she knows she'll understand, where she doesn't have to worry that she's not going to know how to do it or understand what someone's saying. She can just be free and have fun. It gives her confidence to try stuff that she might not have tried before.
Follow the back. Okay, go ahead and shoot. Go ahead and let go.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
If you're around kids that are having fun, you have fun. So it's a lot of fun.
It's wonderful. I wouldn't do anything else.
We look forward to this every year. We mark our calendars. We can't wait.
Now it's late October and many of the campers are back. But this time to take advantage of Missouri's special deer season set aside for young people.
Anybody got any questions about assignments where your blinds are?
All of the elements of a good hunt take place. The hearty breakfast, reconnecting with old friends, sneaking out early to take your position, the patient waiting, experiencing the rising sun, the beautiful fall colors, the adventure,
When Rocky don't understand what I'm saying, she'll look at the translator and I will repeat it to the translator, and the translator will make her hand signals and tell her what she needs to do. It's pretty neat. See the look on their face, the glow on their face. I wish I had this when I was a child. It's pretty neat. Pretty awesome.
Fantastic.
and of course, just like any other hunt, the stories of the day must be told.
I told him wait until the deer turns, and he had his gun on him for probably about 2 minutes, and then as soon as that deer turned to its left, he shot it and dropped it right in its tracks. He got to go out there and had to pry the smile off of his face. He's one happy guy.
If you've been advised to cut back on red meat, you may think life as you know it is over. But if you substitute heart-healthy venison for beef, you can still enjoy your favorite dishes, like Philly steak sandwiches. Take 2 pounds of venison round steak and slice into very thin pieces using a sharp knife. It's easiest to do when the meat is frosty but not frozen. If you're concerned about a gamey taste, soak the meat overnight in salt water or milk. Salt and pepper the meat, then dredge it in flour. Brown the meat in a small amount of oil in a skillet over medium heat. After meat is browned, add a ½ cup of water, top with onion rings, cover, and simmer over low heat until the meat is tender. Slice a long loaf of French bread lengthwise. Spread butter or margarine on each side and sprinkle with garlic powder. Lay slices of meat on the bottom half of the bread, topping it with onions if desired. Spread cheese over the meat and onions, top with the other half of the bread. Wrap the sandwich in foil, heat in 300-degree oven until the bread is crusty. Cut into serving-sized pieces and serve with sliced pickles, peppers, tomatoes, and your favorite condiments. Either as a cold weather lunch or as casual party fare, a Philly venison steak sandwich is always a hit. If you'd like the recipe, just write to us. We'll have the address for you at the end of the show.
When you can't find enough time or opportunity to hit the woods or take to the trail, you can still explore Missouri's outdoors. All you have to do is go surfing.
When it comes to hunting, you can't beat the conservation website as an information resource. Whether you prefer to pursue small game, turkey, deer, or game birds, lots of great information is just a click away. You can find out how to sign up for special hunts, review harvest summaries, or check out the latest changes in the game laws. For beginners, there's tips on deer hunting, and you can even find a hunter education course in your area.
To make Surfing Missouri easy, our website is designed to work with any web browser. Use our web address, or type Missouri Conservation into any search engine.
Why do people litter? Ducks don't like a littering home. They like a really nice lake to live. You should never, ever litter. This is where I play. Where do you think the cigarette butts are gonna go? We should make up a song, like about trash. Everybody just pick up a little bit. Just find a trash can. There's one. Put it in there. If there's not any trash cans around, just get a bag and pick it up. And then you bring it back home and then you put it in your trash can. Look at that blue can. It's in the water. Pick it up and put it in your trash. Somebody must have been drunk. Can you believe that, Dad? That's a battery. Picking up trash can be really fun. But it's very nice to other animals. This is their home. This is our home.
Well, that's it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you get the chance, why not head out and enjoy Missouri's outdoors? That's where I'll be. See you next time.
To receive a copy of today's recipe and handy hint, send us your name and address and the specific names of the recipe and hint, or check it out on our website,